Greetings, Girl Scouts and future Girl Scouts. I'm Chris Anderson. I am one of the staff team at Girl Scouts Heart of Michigan, and I'm here today to share some great information on caring for animals. Now, a few days before Halloween, we had the chance to talk with Jessie Hitt, who is the education manager for the Humane Society of Huron Valley. And Jessie shared some great insights on how we can keep the animals that we share our communities with safe and healthy and happy. And now, before we start our interview, I wanted to make sure you knew a few things. One is that the Humane Society offers a lot of different programs that I think you might want to check out. So you can do that at their website. Some of those programs are virtual. And another thing you want to know is that after we talk with Jessie, you'll get some information on how you can participate in one of those programs and earn a couple of cool Girl Scout incentives for doing that. The last thing that you might want to know before we meet Jessie is that some of the Society's programs feature some great opportunities for earning badges, animal care badges, some of which you're seeing on the screen right now. So check that out. And now let's meet Jessie. So good morning.
Good morning.
I am here for all of you out in Girl Scout land with Jessie. You prefer Jessie? Okay, Jessie Hitt from the Humane Society of Huron Valley. And thanks so much for taking some time with us today. Talk a little bit about animal care, and how about if we start with some information? And if you could tell us a little bit about the Humane Society of Huron Valley and your role with the organization.
Absolutely. So the Humane Society of Huron Valley is basically the center of the animal welfare community for Washtenaw County. So we take in all strays and surrenders for all of Washtenaw County, so Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti, Chelsea, Dexter. And we, of course, help try to find these animals homes is our big mission. But we also have a veterinary clinic here, as well as a cruelty investigation and rescue team that helps sick and injured wild animals in our community. So we, like I said, are sort of the center of animal welfare for this community. And my personal role is I am the Humane Education Manager. We are fortunate enough to have a whole education team here. And our job is to work with both the youth and adults of our community to talk about how to best take care of the animals around us.
Cool. Oh, I think I see somebody in back of you.
So Bella, she is our office cat.
It's very energetic.
She is quite energetic. She's just shy of a year old, so she still has some kitten energy.
So, how many animals? I know you have a really high adoption rate. And you know, to me that is very impressive. I know my little fur baby did come from the Humane Society of Huron Valley. So what's that percentage on that?
Yeah, I honestly don't know the amount of animals we have in shelter at the moment, but we, the past 2 years, have done just over 5,000 adoptions a year.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're really, really fortunate. Our goal was to do about 5,300 adoptions this year. We may fall just shy of that due to the pandemic. While we were never officially closed, did certainly have a lower amount of people coming in for several months. So it might have a bit of an effect on our numbers this year, though I believe last time I checked, we were we were nearing 4,000 adoptions for the year. So
Okay.
we're still doing pretty well.
Yeah, and I know that's actually a big thing that a lot of folks have done since the pandemic hit, is taking the animals as sort of helping with sheltering in place, which
Absolutely. And yeah, because the lower adoption number doesn't actually reflect that people weren't adopting, because we actually had quite some time where we were fairly empty here at the shelter because so many adoptions were taking place. I think the big thing that happened is one of the programs that we do here is Love Train, and that's a program where we transfer in puppies and dogs from shelters in the South that have a big overpopulation problem. And for a couple months, we were unable to do those. So I think that's actually honestly the biggest thing, is just that we weren't able to do those, and that's why we'll have a slightly smaller number. But the animals that we had here in house, yeah, didn't stay very long. They've been getting adopted. They're continuing to get adopted pretty quickly.
well, that's very cool. So now one of the things, well, actually, let me ask you a little bit more about just in general. What kind of animals do you provide care for?
Sure. The most common, as you would guess, is cats and dogs. But we are here to provide care for any domestic animal in our community. So we also tend to have a fair amount of rabbits. We have a guinea pig right now. We actually have a few rats that are looking for a home. And yeah, I guess those are the most common. But like I said, any homeless domestic animal that needs our help, we will help provide for.
And what's the most unusual animal that you've ever provided care for?
That's a great question. I was really thinking about that one. I suppose it depends who you ask, but I think probably one of the most exotic ones we ever got was a tegu, which is a type of reptile. It's a lizard. So that was an unusual one. I think we've only ever had one of those. We've also had animals. We've had snakes before. We've had a chameleon, and then we've even had some large birds like an African gray parrot. So
wow.
Yeah, not super common, but they've been here.
Wow. I actually have a friend who adopted 2 chinchillas.
Yes, yeah. I always like when we get chinchillas in because they're so cool. But.
Yeah, for any of you watching from Washtenaw County, their names are Ipsy and Arbor. So.
Oh, that's perfect.
Isn't it? So now I know a lot of our girls have, for animal care is especially popular with our Girl Scouts. And one of the things that they're a little worried about right now is, of course, the pandemic and COVID transmission. So can you talk a little bit about, how can animals get COVID, or can they get COVID? How does that work from humans to animals and animals to humans? What's the likelihood, and what's the care recommendation?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a great question and very important. I actually had to consult with our veterinarians here. I don't have medical knowledge myself, but so the short answer is yes. Some animals have shown to be able to get COVID, but it seems to be pretty unlikely. In the report that I read, they said that there were fewer than 25 reports around the world of COVID in animals. So it's not a super common occurrence. And the way animals can get it is just the same way as people. They get it via transmission. And while it doesn't seem super likely that animals will transmit COVID to humans, it's possible, but unlikely. We haven't seen many cases of that. And then I had a question about which animals are more likely. The ones that, according to the AMVA, research has shown COVID most commonly in ferrets and cats. They haven't seen it less common in dogs, pigs, chickens, and ducks. I don't know why those specific animals were studied, but again, in cases, there have just been so few cases of animals having it, period, let alone transmitting it to people. The recommendation for people with the animals at home that they want to make sure stay safe are just sort of the same things. Make sure you're practicing good hygiene, washing your hands. If someone in the home does get diagnosed with COVID, it's probably a good idea to quarantine your animals just the same as you would from other people for about 2 weeks. Okay. I can say, as far to my knowledge, we haven't seen any cases of COVID in animals here in our community.
Yeah, I think that will be really reassuring to all of our girls at home who have cats and dogs, or maybe bunnies, or maybe some of those less mainstream pets, shall we say?
Yes.
Yeah. And apart from keeping our pets safe from COVID and vice versa, what are the most important things that girls might need to know about taking care of a sick or injured animal?
Sure. So for a domestic animal, a pet animal, obviously, the best thing you can do is make sure that you bring your animal to a vet, make sure that they get seen. And but as I mentioned earlier, if you care about all types of animals like we do here at the Humane Society, we are very fortunate to have that rescue team that I mentioned earlier. So we have a person on call 24/7, 365 days a year, where if you see a sick or injured wild animal, you can call us and we can go check on that animal and help them. So again, that is available to anyone in Washtenaw County. So that's a resource that we encourage you to use if you see an animal in need of assistance. But otherwise, with your pet animals, your best bet is just to get them their routine veterinary care at this point. Yeah.
Okay, that's a really cool service. I know a few years ago I was down in Ohio walking in a park and saw a duck with what appeared to be a broken wing, and it did not appear that there were any resources other than go knock on the ranger station door. So
right.
That is really good to know. So
we feel very fortunate that that's a resource we can provide because we are a community of animal lovers. So we have people who want to support that effort, and so we're able to do it.
Excellent. Now I understand also that the Humane Society offers a virtual program that girls can participate in that's all about animal care. So can you share some details about that?
Sure. So we offer what we call ACE programs. It stands for Animal Care Education. And we have a variety of different topics where we can talk about, just basic animal care, or we can do virtual animal visits and other things of that nature. So they're super fun, and you get just a little insight about what it's like here at the Humane Society and the work that we do.
So actually, I don't know if you wanted to show us anything, at the facility at this point. And I have a little bit of spoiler for us, for our girls who are viewing, that we are going to schedule that virtual program, and there's going to be some fun incentives for you. So stay tuned. I'll follow up on that at the end of our talk with Jessie. So Jessie, like I say, I don't know if there's anything you would like to show us at the facility at this point.
I would be happy to do sort of like a little virtual animal visit for you today. I
Okay.
would, if possible, I'd recommend doing it at the end because sometimes I lose internet connection when I walk around the
Oh,
shelter,
okay, yes.
just in case that happens.
All right. So my last question then, before we start the tour, and that'll be fun, and hopefully the internet will stay with us, is
Yeah.
that our Girl Scouts are always looking for ways to give back to communities and to causes that they have a real passion for. And a lot of our girls like to provide care and comfort for animals. So I'm hoping you can give us an idea of what sorts of things that girls can do to support HSHV and the animals that you care for.
Absolutely. So I can actually send you a link via email later, but we have some projects that folks can do from home and then donate things like blankets for our animals here, especially as the winter months are coming. We need all that extra bedding, toys that they can make, enrichment that they can make for our animals. We also have some different fundraising ideas if that's something your girls are interested in helping with. We've had it where kids will do like canned food drives or things like that, which are always very helpful to our animals here. We also, they might be a little bit below the age, but once you're 12 years old, we have a junior volunteer program here for anyone between the ages of 12 and 17, where the kids basically, we train them on how to best work with the animals, and they go comfort our cats and our dogs and make them feel loved until they get adopted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a great program.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially if you aren't able to have pets at home for whatever reason, what a great way to get more connected with, the animals and get that experience. So.
Absolutely. Honestly, it's a great program because it's such a win-win. I mean, the kids enjoy working with the animals, and the animals, get attention and love. So it's just such a great program.
Cool. Well, thank you for letting us know about that.
Absolutely.
And is there anything else you'd like to share before we start the tour?
I think that's mostly it, although I would encourage any Girl Scout who's interested in what they can do for animals or what they can do just here at the Humane Society to have fun. We have a lot of different programs that we're doing right now. We have virtual offerings on our website, but even in person, we have small programs with small amounts of people, like our rescue reading program where our kids come and read to animals. We have a pets pajamas night where kids can come and in their pajamas, we hang out with animals and then we watch an animal themed movie. So we just have lots of fun stuff like that where if they would just want to be involved and also have a little fun, they can come check us out.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for all the great information. And whenever you're ready.
Let's see. So I am leaving the office area, which is back where I have my desk. You saw a bit of Snowbella, who is our office cat. She lives in the office because she has a sickness called feline leukemia. That is a sickness that only cats can get. It cannot be transmitted to people or dogs or any other species, but unfortunately it is contagious to cats. So she lives back in the office area, so she can't transmit it to any other cats out here. But she gets lots of love back in the office with us. And the good news is, as you see, she's still very spunky. All right, I have made my way to the kitten room now. I'll see if I can do some
introductions here.
Friends here. We are just about at the end of what we call kitten season. Yes. So because of in the wintertime, cats don't usually have babies here in Michigan. It's too cold. So from about December through April, we don't really have very many kittens here at the Humane Society. But for now, we do still have some. So like I said, we're sort of getting to the end of kitten season. We have a talkative friend over here. This one's name is Pinto. Hello, friend.
Hi there.
So yes, while this room is full in the summertime, the peak of kitten season is pretty much like June through August. It's getting a little emptier now. I'm going to see if I can walk you back to the dog area now, just give you a little peek. Well, this is an unusual sight, so I'm going to take you in here. I'm entering our small mammal room now, which is where we keep our rabbits and other small critters. I am not sure how our friend got up here, but our rabbit friend that hopped up on our little crate here. So that was some impressive hopping. All right, and now I'm making our way back to dogs.
Yeah, is it, I know with black cats and Halloween coming, that can sometimes be, you know, not a really great time for them. Is there, like with black dogs, is that an issue?
Yeah, it doesn't tend to be as much of a issue with dogs, and fortunately, we haven't really seen any issue with black cats in recent years either. We do tend to, you know, have maybe an extra little screening process with black cats during this time of year. But yeah, fortunately, we haven't had many issues. We tend to have more black cats and more black dogs. They just don't get adopted as fast for whatever weird preconceptions people have about black animals. I personally have 2 black cats at home. I love them. So I don't know. I think they're beautiful. All right, I'm going to see if I'm back in dogs. I'm going to see if this friend likes to hop up. Oh, can you see her? That's Nellie.
He's very happy to see you.
Yeah. All right, maybe I'll just, it's sounding a little loud back here, so I might just spend some time with Nellie and get a close view of. All right. Hello, Miss Nellie. There we go. So Nellie's up for adoption here. When she came into us, she was a stray, and maybe had been out for a little while because she was pretty skinny. Unfortunately, she's back up to a normal weight here now, and is just waiting for a nice home. Nellie, unfortunately, doesn't enjoy other dogs very much, so she needs a home where she can be the only one. But she's super sweet. She's visited with some of our kids here at the shelter, and she does well with them. So,
she wants to be alpha dog.
She does. Yeah, you're a nice girl. All right. So I would say that's about it. It sounds pretty noisy back in the rest of the dogs, so I'll probably avoid going back there.
All right. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed our interview with Jessie. And before we leave today, I wanted to let you know about a program that the Humane Society of Huron Valley is offering. And it is a fun program where you are going to learn how to talk to animals, quote unquote talk, and how animals communicate with us as humans. And that program is a virtual program. It is going to be held on December 8th at 4 o'clock. And if you sign up for that program, you will get a free animal-related fun patch. And if you bring a friend who is not a Girl Scout yet, and she signs up to be a Girl Scout by January 15th, she'll get the free fun patch, and she will also, she will also get a special gift from our very own Girl Scouts Heart of Michigan Council shop. So head on over to our events page at gshom.org and sign on up today. So we hope to see you on December 8th, and thanks for tuning in.